A Gift from Him by Sheila France. On the early morning today, 15th of May 1977, we went to the Jagriti hoping that our names would be put on the list of people scheduled to visit Baba. Initially, our names were not there, but were finally included. The sisters present at the Jagriti, knowing that it was my first time to see Baba, helped me put on my first sari. They seemed to share the joy I felt meeting my guru the very first time. By noon, we were at the Bankipur jail, waiting. Then the Dadas came with a list of 6 names that were submitted to the jailer. But then, that day, the authority was allowing only 4 people to get in. It took an hour or so for them to come to an agreement as to who would finally see Baba that day. There were 2 batches. The first batch composed of 3 avadutas. We belonged to the second batch. Dada Abhik Kumar, now Abhidevananda, my husband Guru Sharan, our 3-year-old daughter Ambika, and me. We were led to his cell. Dada Abhik went first, then Guru Sharan, finally my daughter and me. We did pranama to Baba, who was lying down on his bed with his head a little high on pillows. Dada Abhi came close to him and spoke of the Margya achievements in his sector. Baba was pleased with his report. While Dada was talking to Baba, he introduced us to him. Upon seeing Ambika, he reached for something under his bed. He opened a Horlicks bottle and got some sweets and gave to her. He then gave sweets to the 3 of us. Then Baba called Guru Sharan to come near him. He used his alphabetic board to communicate. While Guru Sharan was talking to Baba, Dada Abhik was at the feet of Baba, just holding them. Then Baba asked me to speak, and all I could ask for was for him to give me love and devotion to him. He answered by giving me Namaskar. Our 3-year-old daughter Ambika was very close to Baba. She held his hands and did Namaskara. She then asked him, coming out soon, which she repeated several times. For an answer she got several nods and smiles with the clasped hands from Baba. May 16, 1977. We sought special permission for another visit, which was rejected. Guru Sharan did not stop till he got what he wanted. He called the superintendent. Permission was granted for another visit to Baba in jail, scheduled for 23rd of May 23, 1977. This time we were given 2 minutes, the time for us to do our pranama. We entered Baba's quarters. Baba was resting on his bed. He was in a different mood. We did our Sastanga pranama. Then Guru Sharan came near Baba, resting his hands on Baba's head, while I stayed near his feet, not daring to touch them. Then Guru Sharan started whispering to Baba, while Baba attentively listened to him. When Guru Sharan mentioned about the Philippines, he started to change mood. He made gestures of approval and gave a smile. Guru Sharan asked for his blessings, and he gave it to us by resting his hand right on our foreheads. Seeing Ambika, he reached again for the bottle under his bed. He gave some sugar crystals to us, and for the Margis, outside of the jail. We did our Sastanga Pranama. Time was up and we really had to go. On our way to France, October 19, 1977, as we were told the previous day that we could give flowers to Baba, we went to jail early in the morning, but when we reached the Bankipur jail office, they said that Baba only accepted flowers if delivered personally. As the superintendent was out for 2 days, we begged the jailer to let our 3-year-old daughter see Baba. He agreed and brought Ambika to Baba. She stayed there for at least 5 minutes and came back with hands full of sweets. October 21, 1977. On this day, we saw Baba again. Baba told me to come even nearer to his bed. He positioned himself like a father, ready to hear stories from his child. He told me to tell everything that was in my mind. I kept silent for a while, as I was really very nervous and ashamed. Then he told me once again to speak up. I said that I was going to Europe and I did not know what to do there, and that I wanted personal direction from him. I then conveyed to him the message from some sisters, after which I asked to be given a duty. He asked me for my favorite work. I felt so good that he was smiling and accommodating all the time. He was talking to me. I expressed to him that the only thing that hindered me in doing work was the fear within me. He said that whatever undertaking I would have, I would always have his support. I asked for a new name. He became silent, and then from his left lateral position, he pointed his fingers down the bed, then to his temple, back to the bed, then to his temple. The third time from his temple, he raised his hands while pronouncing the name, Sheila, and its meaning, woman of good culture. I had a Sanskrit name before, which was a male's name. I was very happy to receive this gift from him. October 28, 1977. On our fourth meeting with Baba, he was telling me that I would not have any problem in Europe, as it was very cosmopolitan. At that time, I did not quite understand the meaning of cosmopolitan. He took the time to elaborate what cosmopolitan meant by giving London as an example. I told him that I wanted to realize him more. He said to practice dhyana and to ask for it from an acharya. I said that I did not have strength and I needed to be strong. He said that any desire gets fulfilled if there is sincerity. I see a photographer of Baba in Fish, Switzerland. May 8, 1979. As far as I could remember, I was seated among the many Margis waiting for Baba at the DC Hall in Fish. We were singing bhajans while waiting for Baba to come after his morning field walk. Suddenly, Guru Sharan came rushing towards me to tell me that I had to come fast, as there was a need for another photographer for Baba's field walk. Without hesitation, I got up and ran with Guru Sharan towards Baba's house with my camera. When Guru Sharan and I arrived, there was hardly anyone around, except for a few Dadas and VSS cars. This was his second field walk in Fish. Baba's orange car was parked just right in front of his door. While waiting, I was lost in my thoughts. Up till then, I had not chosen my trade or duty within Ananamarga. Choosing one's trade was important before anyone could get personal contact from Baba. It was true that Baba told me while he was in jail that I should promote Prout among the ladies. I had always inclination for GV. Suddenly there was commotion. Baba was coming. I got ready to take Baba's picture. I was standing on a chair next to the car of Baba, facing the door. I took the first picture of Baba and got down from the chair and watched him as he approached the door of the car, nearest to where I was. He sat down comfortably on the back seat, and from there he returned my Namaskara and told me, "So GV is doing good work." I could only answer yes, Baba, and understood by then that my trade had just been chosen by him. On the field walk, I did not exactly know where we went. I was just happy to be there following him. I did not exactly know how many brothers were present, but I felt somehow awkward to be the only woman. I was about to take his picture when Dada Ramananda signaled me to wait. Then Dada Ramananda turned to Baba and whispered something in his ears. Baba gave a sign of approval with a slight movement of his head, after which Dada told me to carry on. I had the impression that he walked so fast and that everybody had to run to keep up with his pace. I was too drunk with joy. I did not know how many pictures I took. The only thing I know was that I was there looking at him, watching his every gesture and movement. I did not remember any of his explanations, as I was keeping some distance from the brothers. Then it was time to go back for the darshana at the DC hall. Stripping off the masks, too, by Chintamani, one of the spiritual practices of Anandamarga that I resisted very much was dancing Kaushiki and Tandava. Even though the benefits were explained to me, I felt they were silly. When I reached Kolkata, I went to attend my first darshana in Lake Gardens in the early afternoon. I sat in the main hall with many Margis waiting for Baba to arrive. Suddenly one Dada from India pointed a finger at me and said, "You, stand up. You will do Kaushiki and Tanava." In my mind I thought, I don't think so. However, the next moment somebody handed me a knife, the uniform, and put a mark on my forehead. I thought, I'm leaving the hall. Then I realized that they had closed the front door, and the only way out was towards Baba's room. I was trapped. I started to put on the dancer's uniform. To make matters worse, the Margi brothers and sisters around me started snickering and laughing at me because I was heavy. Today I am sure they meant well, but at the time I felt humiliated as Baba crushed my ego. When Baba entered the hall, everything seemed to move in slow motion. He sat down majestically, and one Dada announced that Kaushiki and Tanava would begin. He announced, "Shintamani from Mahárliká." I could not jump so well, but I looked at Baba and thought, I'm doing this for you. When I finished, Baba said, "Very good," in Bengali. I felt as if a big load had been taken off me, because I was forced to do the dances. Baba taught me that I should do them. More than 20 years later, I still dance Kaushiki every day, and each time I feel connected to him. I realized that it was meant to happen and was not an accident at all. He is the director of all directors, running the show. As an actor, I have to trust the director, because I can see from my perspective and can only play my part. Whereas the director knows everything because he sees the whole picture. During that first visit, one night I wanted to travel from Tilyala, a suburb in Kolkata, India, where the campus office of Ananamarga Pracharya Samghya was located, to Lake Gardens, a suburb of Kolkata where Madhu Malansha, the residence of Sri Sri Anandamurti, was located. I was alone. I did not even know the address, so I just told the bicycle rickshaw driver, Ananamarga. He said nothing but gestured for me to get on. He drove a very long way through many back streets, and I was afraid he was going to rob me. Suddenly he stopped on a dark street. He turned and smiled, said, "Baba's quarters." I realized that I knew that smile. It was very familiar to me. It was Baba's smile. One day, I was standing in the garden of Baba's house in Lake Gardens. So many Margis were there. It was packed. When he came out, I suddenly shouted at the top of my voice, "Baba, come to Mahárliká." Everyone became very quiet. Baba asked, "Who's that?" Baba's personal assistant, PA, leaned close to him and said, "Shintamani, Baba." Dada Amal Vikashananda, who was standing near me, pushed me forward and the crowd parted. I went up and stood about 5 inches from Baba's face. He asked, "What is your name?" I said, "Shintamani, Baba." He said, "Do you know the meaning of Shintamani?" I said, "No." Though, of course, I had an idea. He said, "You are Baba's jewel. Do you know this?" I said, "No, Baba, I don't. Baba, please come to Mahárliká." He smiled and said, "In due time." Then I dropped on the ground and did Sastanga Pranam. I did not actually touch his feet, as I had been told this would cause him to imbibe my samskaras, and he could get sick. Then he said some sort of blessing over me. Afterwards, my mind felt blank. I always felt that Baba was my father. I was his son, and there was no boundary between us. I felt it was the right thing to say at the right time. Nobody could come between us. I returned to Mahárliká, but I never again worked in television or film. I felt that the lifestyle that was so associated with that work was not what Baba wanted me to go back to. Instead, I worked for Ananamarga almost full time for about 2 years. It was a very happy time in my life, and I continually felt that nothing could go wrong as long as I was sincerely working for his mission. In 1984, I was in India again when it was announced that Baba would give personal contact. I was put on the list with 4 other brothers from India. We waited together in the hall. The others were happy, but I was suffering from diarrhea and fever. Dada Shri Krishnananda, our SS, said, "Whatever you do, don't leave or you will lose this opportunity." Though I was very uncomfortable, I did not leave even to go to the bathroom. I tried to meditate. One by one, the other brothers were called. Each one was happy when he came down and one was crying. After the 4th brother, Dada Essi said, "I'm sorry, Shintamani, but Baba will only take 4 people today." I said, "Okay." Dada left and then I started to cry. I thought, This is not acceptable. When my Laukika father was alive, he always allowed me to see him. For 50 minutes I sat there crying and questioning why Baba would not see me. Then I heard PA shout, Shintamani. Dada SS came running in and ordered me up the stairs. I ran up and then dove into the room as Dada PA closed the door. I lay flat on the carpet. Then I heard Baba say, Shintamani, let me see your face. So I got up and kneeled in front of Baba's bed, only about a foot away from him. He asked, Are you from Mahárliká? To which I replied, Yes, Baba. Then he started to pantomime an umbrella with his hands and said, What is this? I said, Payong. He said, Very nice. And what is the big fruit that has spikes and tastes so sweet? You can eat the seeds? I said, Lanka, Baba, jackfruit. Then with his hands in the air, he pantomimed a door. So I said, Pintu. He was very happy that I was giving the right answers and acted as if he was remembering each of the words. Then Baba became serious and said, You did some very bad things in the past. You should not do this again. For that, you have to be punished. He picked up his stick and told me to raise my arms. He raised the stick and swung it down hard, but stopped in midair, then slowly put it down. Come here, come closer. He put his hands on my head and affectionately rubbed the top of my head for a minute or two, saying something in Sanskrit. Then he asked me to put my hands on my chest and repeat after him. He made me promise that I would be good. After that, the fingers of both his hands touched my cheeks, between the cheek and the chin. Nobody had ever done that to me. Then I really started crying. He asked, Why are you crying? I said, Because I'm happy, Baba. My mind was gone. The next thing I heard was Dada PA telling me to go out, so I backed out of the room. I returned to the meditation hall and meditated. I felt out of my body, not thinking. Later, I returned to the central office, slept, and when I awoke the following morning, I had completely recovered. Since then, whenever I'm happy or whenever I see disturbing images on the news, I would close my eyes, think of my Guru mantra, and I would see Baba. Like a computer mouse, I would just click and there he is. Looking back, I realized that the 3 objects that he asked me about are very important things in my life. I always carry an umbrella in my bag or next to me when I go out, and it feels like a symbol of Baba's protection for me. My Laukika father used to laugh because I loved jackfruit and could devour so much of it. I see doctors as opportunities, always opening from the inside out. I see doors as opportunities, always opening from the inside out, and I often have spiritual dreams about them. Be the ideal son. May 31st by Prashanta. May 31st, 1986. When PA opened the door, I entered Baba's room and did Sastanga Pranama. While I prostrated, Baba exclaimed, Oh Prashanta. While seating, I said, Yes, Baba. Your name is Prashanta, isn't it? Yes, Baba. Baba spelled my name. Then he asked, What is your age? 26 years old, Baba. So you're just a little boy? What is your language? Tagalog, Baba. How many languages do you know? 2, Baba. Tagalog and English. Do you know Spanish? No, Baba. Where are you from? I'm from Bacolod city. So you're from Mahárliká? Yes, Baba. Who is your Acharya? Dada Argyananda. Oh, Argyananda, you from Southeast Asia? Yes, Baba. Baba closed his eyes and remarked, Prashanta, as if he was looking for my past actions. He remarked, Very good, very good. And next, very bad. Then he related, One time you're doing bad, you're thinking that nobody knows what you're doing. Do you think that your Baba doesn't know anything of what you're doing? Baba became very angry and asked, Why are you doing that? I replied, My mind is weak, Baba. My mind is weak, so what you did a mistake or a sin? It's a sin, Baba. Should I punish you for the sin you did? Yes, Baba. But you're just a little boy. How can I punish you? Baba, please punish me. Okay, raise your hands. I raised my hands and closed my eyes because I was thinking that Baba would punish me with his big stick. But he just touched my chest with his stick. I opened my eyes. Baba asked, Will you do the mistake that you did before? No, Baba. Will you do it again? No, Baba. From now on, you'll be a very good boy. Do you want to be a very good boy? Yes, Baba. You promised me that you will be a very, very good boy. Put your hands on your chest and follow what I say. I followed what Baba said. Then at the end again he told me my mistake and asked, why are you doing that kind of mistake? If people know that you are doing bad things, do you think they will respect you? No, Baba. You're the son of Baba and you're doing that. Then I cried. I felt that I was just a little boy, longing for his beloved father. I cried, and then I moved closer to Baba and put my head on his lap. After a few minutes, I raised my head. Baba touched my Sahasrara chakra and said, now you're a newborn baby. Be a very good boy. Do maximum selfless service and great work for humanity and be the ideal son of Baba. Yes, Baba, you can go now. Thank you, Baba. Very good boy. Intimate Moments with the Guru by Acharya Suvedananda Avaduta. On the day I was scheduled to have personal contact with Baba, I had to wait a long time. Another Mahárlikan Acharya, Dada Kritatmananda, was ahead of me in queue. Everybody was trembling because it was cold, but my trembling was more from excitement to meet my beloved Baba personally. I was not afraid. Finally, I was inside his room alone. Baba asked me my name, my Acharya's name, my age, and what I was doing at that time. I felt that although Baba is all-knowing, still he asked me these questions to show his personal attention. I started crying deeply with so much love and devotion. This was the first time I ever cried compulsively out of devotion. Baba then said some things, but I never heard or understood because I was crying. I tried to stop crying, but biting my tongue so I could hear what he was saying, but without success. Then Baba told me to put my right hand on my left chest. He placed his palm on the top of my head and caressed it while saying a mantra that I knew was a blessing. The whole time I was crying out of love for him. Finally, he gently told me that I should leave because someone else was waiting. I did pranama and left, still crying. Though Baba did not show me any miraculous power, I felt that my PC was much more than that. It was very personal, special and intimate between my beloved Baba and me. For a long time, I kept this story to myself and never told it to anyone. However, I am convinced that for the greater benefit of humanity, now and for the future, I should share this experience. In his universal form, by Avadutika Ananda Nirupama Acharya. In 1987, I got personal contact from Baba. There was a big group of deities, about 12 of us getting PC. We were doing a Kanda Kirtana every morning while Baba was on tour to Ranchi, and non-Indian Acharyas were not allowed to tour with him. So we stayed, and Auntie Ananda Bharati advised us to prepare for PC. Throughout the 5 days of waiting for Baba's PC, he really prepared me physically too. I felt that he cleansed me. For 3 days I was not able to eat anything. Whatever I ate, I just simply vomited it for no reason. So I was drinking buku water, young coconut juice, and it helped me survive for 2 days. However, on the 3rd day, I could not even drink coconut water anymore. Although there was no pain anywhere in my body, I felt extremely weak. I could hardly take even the few steps needed to catch another ride to Baba's quarters. We needed to take 2 rides to get there. Mentally, I said to Baba that it would be the last day for me to come to his quarters, and if he still would not call us, then I would have to wait till I could get stronger again, which might take time. I felt tremendous love inside me, and so suddenly my heart was overflowing with much love. I never felt that way before. This seemed to have intensified my weaknesses. Baba was just above the waiting room where we stayed. To remove that strange, strong feeling, I did my Guru Puja on the floor where I was. I tried to move around to lose that feeling. It was too strong and heavy, and I wished someone could help me bear it. However, none of those very senior Acharyas around could absorb it from me. Suddenly he called us, and I found myself flying through the stairs up to his room. The moment I entered the room, the strange feelings just disappeared. I was the last in the row, but when my turn came, CVVI pushed me forward, which positioned me in front of Baba, just a meter away. I noticed that when Baba was talking to Didis before me, that he was facing the opposite direction. He did not look at me straight, and I was so determined to see only the pupils of his eyes. No matter what happened, I decided that I would never let my little mind space out. When my name was called, he turned to me, DSL Warsaw. And what is the capital of Poland? I answered, Warsaw, Baba. He said, very good, very good. He was looking at me all the time. Baba asked, do you know any Spanish? I said, no, Baba. Then the CVVS central lady pulled my veil at the back, prompting me that I should never say no. Then again Baba asked, do you speak little Spanish? Again I said, no, Baba. Lady pulled my veil again from the back. With a loud tone, as if angry, Baba asked, why do you suppress the fact? Will you suppress the fact? I got scared by now, and I said, no, Baba, with my tears about to drop down my cheeks. Then Baba said, yes, now, one tiny white crow came to my ears and said, that your grandparents speak Spanish. Is it true? I remember then that when I was a little child of 4 or 5 years old, I could never understand my grandparents. The existence of other languages never entered my mind. I would go to my parents to find out what they were saying. Again I said, no, Baba. Then Didi pulled again my veil from the back. Baba asked the third time, do you speak little Spanish? While gestured from his fingers, signifying minutely. It was then that I had the confidence to answer, yes. The thing is, while Baba was talking, I was staring at the pupils of his eyes, and lo, what I discovered was that I saw no one in his room besides the 2 tiny dots of his eyes that slowly turned into a very white, gentle cloud type of smoke inside the whole room, and no other thing or person was present. Then I remembered softly saying, Baba, where are you? That moment he showed me his universal form. Just as suddenly, he again appeared, sitting in his bed, and told me, now you sit down, my little girl. My tears at this time poured down uncontrollably. It reminded me of the epic Mahabharata, when Arjuna asked Krishna to show his universal form, as he had not the strength to do what he had to do. Krishna showed Arjuna that he was that bright light, and that he alone existed, in everything and everyone. Baba is indeed present in every particle of this universe, and nothing is without. Baba Kripa hi kevalam.